If you live in Japan or are just visiting, you may have heard of an alert regarding a mega earthquake that could cause devastating damage to Japan. Today, we're going to talk about what that alert is, what region is at risk of a tsunami or earthquake, what the Nankai Trough is, and how to be prepared for any of these situations. If you're new to my channel, my name is Ananya. I'm a self-taught Japanese speaker of 7+ years, and I moved to Tokyo 1 year ago with the dreams of sharing with you guys what it's like to live in Japan and share all these new experiences through a new lens. So if you're interested in all things Japan, make sure to subscribe to this channel. With that, let's get into the video. Japan is no stranger to earthquakes. In fact, there's almost one every single day in Japan. These tend to be pretty harmless and usually you wouldn't really notice them. But this alert for a mega earthquake is a lot different. So what caused this alert? On August 8th, 2024, a 7.1 magnitude earthquake hit Kyushu. Upon this earthquake, the JMA issued an alert for a mega earthquake. The recent earthquake that occurred increased the chances of a mega earthquake occurring in the Nankai Trough. The Nankai Trough is notoriously known for having mega thrust earthquakes of magnitudes of 8 or more repeatedly. The thing is, these earthquakes tend to occur every 100 to 150 years. However, each time they tend to be different parts of the trough at different times, making it super difficult to predict when the next one will occur. As you can see, this is the area of the trough itself, and I did not know this, but a trough is a seabed trench located at the boundary of two tectonic plates. This trough extends 700 kilometers. If an earthquake does hit this area, it could cause the risk of a tsunami of 30 meters. And therefore, on August 8th, the JMA issued an alert to be vigilant for the next week, be prepared. I know this can be super terrifying, but one thing that can put your mind at ease is that although the risk of a mega earthquake is several times higher, in the grand scheme of things, the overall probability of it actually happening is still 1 in several hundred. So given the current probability of this earthquake occurring, the JMA has not asked to completely evacuate or anything like that. It's just an advisory at the current moment. So let's talk about what you can do right now according to their guidelines. First, identify if you actually fall within the Nankai Trough. So if you take a look at the map, you can see where the actual area is and generally where you might not want to be if there is risk of tsunami. Make sure to secure your furniture if you have anything on the walls that could fall down, a big shelf right next to you when you're sleeping or something like that could prevent you from evacuating. They could also cause injuries as well. Number 2 is double check your evacuation sites and routes. So in the case of evacuation, you need to know where you can get to protect yourself from a potential tsunami or earthquake in general. The next thing I would recommend is to stock up on food, water, and other things, and potentially even have an earthquake safety kit with you in the case of disaster. I found some resources online, such as the Bousai Metro Tokyo checklist, and in there they've included everything that you want to make sure to have stockpiled, or how to keep yourself safe inside your home, and just so many resources. So I'll have that link down below, but just make sure it's important to have food and water in case you have to take shelter in your home and don't have access to them. And finally, make sure you have an emergency communication plan with your family and friends. Especially if you're living in Japan alone like me, make sure that you have someone to rely on within the country, and make sure you set up a communication plan with your family members abroad. Once again, I do want to say the actual probability of this earthquake is still quite low, but it is just a little bit heightened than usual, but that still means that you should be prepared in the case of disaster. Regardless of whether this earthquake actually occurs in the next week or two, there is a 70 to 80% chance that an earthquake will occur in the Nankai Trough in the next 30 years. So it's really important that you keep it in the back of your mind and make sure you keep yourself and others safe. The worst case scenario of this earthquake is that it could claim up to 230,000 lives and destroy about 2 million buildings. I think my anxiety and fear really went crazy when I was reading up on the earthquake and just how dangerous it could be. Even if the Nankai Trough is not necessarily exactly part of Tokyo, the risk of a tsunami hitting Tokyo would be absolutely crazy. It isn't really clear to me how bad of a tsunami Tokyo might see, but the risk to the actual region in the Nankai Trough is terrifying. So please make sure to stay safe. But what I think eased my fears is the probability itself of the earthquake occurring, and also that the JMA has not necessarily released an evacuation order, but rather just an advisory. So we're still in a very low risk state. And it might change depending on whether an earthquake does occur in the near future. But yeah, I can't stress enough. Please make sure to take care of yourself and the people around you. And if you're living in Japan by yourself, make sure to seek support and get any help that you might need. With that, I know this is pretty different from videos that I typically release, but I think it's really important to get the information out there as soon as possible. And I know that there's a lot of news resources out there, but not many people who live in Japan talking about their experiences and how people here actually feel about this earthquake. And so, yeah, thank you so much for watching today's video. Make sure to like this video and make sure to subscribe to my channel if you want to know more about Japan and experience Japan with me. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!